On November 29th, 2021, at just 16 years old, I planned to kill myself. I dreaded going to sleep knowing I'd wake up in the morning. I dreaded being alive. All the things that once brought me joy seemed bland and unengaging. I was living in a world deprived of color. Every moment alive, I felt I was wasting away. Everything was purposeless. Everything was empty. Everything was gray. Despite feeling isolated, I was far from alone in the way I felt. Mental issues have never been more common in teenagers. A report published by MedPage Today found that suicide rates for teens aged 15 to 19 have jumped by 29% over the past decade. In states like Nevada, that rate has increased by upwards of 82%. Additionally, in research done by the Irish Times, it was found that the proportion of adolescents reporting severe anxiety has doubled to 22%, while levels of severe anxiety in young adults have increased from 15% to 26%. Furthermore, a study conducted by the University of California, Davis School of Psychology found 2 in every 5 young adults have self-harmed. To put all that in perspective, in this classroom, statistically, almost 8 of you have severe anxiety, 12 of you have self-harmed, and almost 6 of you have seriously considered suicide. This should not be normal. So why is it? While mental illness has always been a curse of the human condition, why is it a staple of the modern teenage condition? What is happening to Gen Z? And more importantly, what can Gen Z do about it? As shown through statistical studies and neuroscience research, the rising rates of mental health issues in Gen Z are caused by societal factors that drain dopamine in the brain. However, teenagers can fight this crisis by implementing positive habits.
This is dopamine. People often think of it as a feel-good molecule, but that isn't entirely correct. As defined by neuroscientist and tenured associate professor at Stanford University's School of Medicine, Andrew Huberman, dopamine is a neuromodulator whose main role is to drive motivation, craving, and pursuit. In other words, it is a life force. Gen Z has grown up in an age of indulgence through instant pleasures from things like fast food, technology, and social media. Hungry? Just order McDonald's. Lonely? Just go on Instagram. Bored? Just watch TikTok. Growing up with such easy access to satisfaction, Gen Z's motivation, their dopamine, their life force has been crippled. So, what should teenagers do? How can Gen Z regain their motivation and retake control of their lives? The answer lies in habits.
While there is no way to cure depression or mental illness overnight, habitual actions are the best way to ensure progress towards a happier life. Author James Clear highlights how life-changing habitual practices can be in his book, Atomic Habits. According to Clear, while genetics, luck, and talent are factors in life, habits
are the portion of your life that you can influence,
and therefore the only portion you should focus on. Clear asserts,
your outcomes in life are often a lagging measure of your habits. The thing that needs to change are the habits that precede those outcomes.
This means if you want to be happy, you first must change the habits resulting in your unhappiness. Implementing small positive habits has a snowball effect that slowly builds into long-term, life-changing results. As Will Durant states, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Additionally, habits create consistency.
As shown through this graphic by motivational account Go Limitless on Twitter, relying on motivation alone is not enough. In this illustration, daily progress is demonstrated through lines, with the color and length representing how much progress was made. When solely relying on motivation, progress is unpredictable, with some days seeing lots of progress and others seeing little to none. Let's compare this to consistency. Uniform, constant progress. While motivation is important, it should not be the only thing a person relies on, especially when dealing with low dopamine and depression. Through forming habits, a person can make consistent daily progress even when they do not feel motivated to do so. That being said, here are 4 simple habits based on scientific data and personal experiences that teenagers can implement into their daily lives to reignite their life force.
The first habit we recommend is to make your bed every day. Navy SEAL Admiral William McRaven explains that although making your bed is a simple, mundane task, it is one of the best lessons he learned from basic SEAL training. Making your bed in the morning,
it will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another.
By starting your day off with an accomplishment, you'll gain momentum that snowballs throughout the day. Additionally, it discourages you from lying in your bed all day, a situation many teenagers regularly find themselves in.
On that same note, the second habit we recommend is getting out of bed and staying active. Between school, technology, and jobs, many teenagers are living sedentary lifestyles that are missing out on regular exercise that improves mental health and physical health. In an article linking exercise to mental health published by the National Center for Biotechnology Information, author Ashish Sharma identified that only 30 minutes of exercise of moderate intensity, such as brisk walking for 3 days a week, would improve sleep, improve endurance, improve mood, improve self-esteem, increase energy and stamina, relieve stress, reduce tiredness, increasing mental alertness, reduce weight, reduce anxiety and depression, and reduce cholesterol. Additionally, the increased blood circulation to the brain from exercise influences the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, which increases the production of dopamine.
Just as important as starting your day and being active is ending your day and resting. The third habit we recommend is to create a regular sleep schedule. Your circadian rhythm, or your body's internal clock, regulates everything from your brain to your bowels. As explained by Andrew Huberman, it also impacts the cortisol cycle in your body. Once every 24 hours, your brain has a natural boost in cortisol, a stress hormone, which wakes up your body and sets your level of alertness, focus, and mood. By having an irregular sleep schedule, your body's cortisol cycle is shifted, which according to Huberman,
and that's actually a signature of depression and anxiety and difficulty falling asleep.
The best way to regulate your circadian rhythm is not to lay in bed on your phone, but rather get 5 to 10 minutes of unprotected sun exposure first thing in the morning. Additionally, in an article published by the Sleep Foundation, author Eric Sooney and psychiatrist Alec Dimitriou connect quality sleep to improve mental health. For example, according to the article, during sleep, the brain works to evaluate and remember thoughts and memories, and it appears that a lack of sleep is especially harmful to the consolidation of positive emotional content. A lack of positive emotional content means a lack of happiness, which can lead to depression and suicidal thoughts. While getting a good night's rest may seem impossible for many teenagers trying to balance school, extracurriculars, and social lives, it is vital for your mental health to prioritize quality sleep.
Finally, our last recommended habit may seem obvious, but take a break from screens. In our digital age, our brains are constantly overstimulated and our attention spans are only getting shorter. Throughout this 10-minute long video, the average teenager has stopped paying attention about 75 times. We are no longer able to relax our brains, to be mindful, to be bored. One way to take a break from overstimulation is meditation. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology in 2008 indicated that people who practice meditation only a few times a month were more likely than the control group to feel optimistic and have a sense of well-being. Additionally, practicing meditation is shown to increase attention and awareness. If you do not want to meditate, taking a nature walk is another good way to break from technological overstimulation. Not only do nature walks keep you active and provide unprotected sun exposure, but as a 2019 study published in the journal Scientific Reports indicated, people who go for nature walks are more likely to have fewer negative emotions. No matter how you do it, it is important to allow your brain to relax and properly process information without interruption. These breaks will prevent constant dopamine depletion, improving motivation and mental health. With all that being said, it is important to keep balance in mind. Your entire life should not be habitual. In the film Stranger Than Fiction, Harold Crick, played by Will Ferrell, is a man dominated by habit and unable to genuinely enjoy being alive. Whether it is brushing his teeth the same number of times every morning or eating the same food every day, Harold Crick is practically stuck in a joyless trance. Crick's life serves as a reminder to find a Goldilocks zone of habits and spontaneity to still live life. Despite recommending all these habits, we are not saying you have to adopt all of them, and you should not fixate on them if they impair your life. The habits you build should not control your life. Instead, they should provide you with support and assistance to ensure progress no matter the circumstances. Additionally, we are not saying all pleasures and technology are the devil, and you should start living off the grid. Rather, be mindful about your consumption and don't let it control your life either. Experiment and find out what works best for you. Find balance. Control your own life.
It is also important to understand none of these habits are going to immediately fix your depression or anxiety. Nothing will ever immediately fix mental issues. Nothing will ever immediately fix mental illness. It is a battle, and unfortunately, more and more teenagers are losing that battle every year. There are two important things to keep in mind when fighting mental illness. First, you can win. The brain has a unique property called neuroplasticity, the ability to change. Over time, you can change how your brain functions, how the receptors fire, how the pathways connect, and increase dopamine, serotonin, and feelings of happiness. Second, it's ultimately on you. While support systems such as friends, family, counselors, and therapists are important, only you can change your life. You must be the one to take steps. You must be the one to build positive habits. You must fight. The unfortunate truth of the human condition is that we only have one life. Our time is limited and therefore it is precious. Take back control of your life. Be alive.
Be bored.
Be free.
Have a purpose.
Feel.
Understand.
Fight.
Love.
Strive.
Achieve.
Dream.
Whatever you do,
Don't let yourself just exist. Live.